Okay. So good morning, everyone. So this is another topic in criminology area. The subject is criminological research. So once again, I am your instructor, Dr. Romeo Fernandez, a registered criminologist. Okay. So let us start our discussion on this topic. Now, to share to you, these are the topics and competencies included in the table of specifications. So ito yung mga binigay na guide na kailangan nating intindihin at malaman, no? For the board examination. So linagay ko para titingnan natin, no? Ito yung mga madidiscuss nating topic sa video na ito. So ano ba yung number one? So according to the table of specifications, discuss the different types of research methodologies applicable in criminological studies. So itong apat na to, binigay siya ng table of specifications para malaman natin saan ba kailangan tayo mag-focus. Pero itong video na ito, bukod dito, meron pang ibang mga types of research tayo na masasama. Okay, kumbaga sosobrahan natin yung ating discussion, hindi lang kung ano yung nasa table of specification. So ano daw ba yung mga different methods of research tulad ng descriptive, correlation, phenomenological, and case studies. Okay? Pangalawa, utilize the suitable research design. Instrument, sampling technique, validity, and reliability, and descriptive statistics or statistical tool in a criminology research paper. So, hindi lang basta dapat alam daw natin yung mga iba't ibang klaseng method of research, pati kung ano yung angkop na research design na gagamitin natin. Anong klaseng research instrument? Anong sampling technique? No? At anong mga tools, statistical tools, ang pwede nating magamit once na tayo ay gumawa ng research. Pangatlo, implement the process of research problem, identification and definition, hypothesis formulation, and research framework, and literature review within the context of criminological studies. Then pang-apat, apply guidelines in preparing an ethical consideration for research paper. And ang panguli, utilize the analysis and interpretation of data derived from the study's results. Okay? So let us start. Siyempre, kailangan malaman natin, no, ano ba yung research? No? What is research ba? When we say research, it is a scientific investigation of phenomena which includes collection, presentation, analysis, and interpretation of facts that links man's speculation with reality. Kasi pag sabing speculation, walang concrete proof or concrete evidence. Halimbawa, bakit ba nakakagawa ng krimen ang isang tao? So may mga grupo ng tao nagsasabi because of poverty, kahirapan. Pero meron din namang grupo ng tao na kinoconsider ang crime as a personal free will o sariling kagustuhan. Meron din sa kabilang banda, sinasabi na baka mamaya inherited siya o namamana. So yung mga ganon, no, para mapatunayan natin kung ano bang totoo doon, pwede tayong mag-conduct ng scientific investigation, no? Now, yung scientific investigation na gagawin natin sa pagkokolekta natin ng mga information o data, pag-a-analyze and interpret natin ng mga nakokolekta natin na data, pwede natin malaman kung ano ba talaga yung reality. Ihiwalay natin yung speculation sa kung ano ba talaga yung nangyayari ngayon. Kung ano ba talaga ang tamang sagot o tamang dahilan. Okay? Now, It is also a careful, critical, disciplined inquiry, varying in technique and method according to the nature and conditions of the problem, identified, directed toward the clarification or resolution of a problem. Kasi nga, sabi nga no, nung nag-aaral pa rin ako no na aalala ko pa no nung research namin, lagi sinasabi ng professor ko doon that if you will conduct a research, no, check if that topic is talagang merong problema, 'di ba? Meron talaga siyang problema kaya nga tayo magkakandak ng research para alamin natin kung ano yung problema at i-try natin magkaroon or mag-come up ng solution through recommendations, 'di ba? So kapag may research, 'di ba, masosolve natin yung mga problema. Halimbawa, ito usually, excuse me. Usually, 'di ba, mga estudyante ko sa research ang hilig niyan, effectiveness ng patrol, 'di ba? Yung sa mga traffic incidents, bakit nagkakaroon daw ng ganyan? So, meron kasi silang nakikitang problema doon eh. 'Di ba? Hindi lang dahil gusto nilang pag-aralan yung bagay na yon, kundi meron talagang problema sa society pagdating dun sa mga ganong topic. That's why they want to conduct research. They want to know what is the problem at based sa mga makukuha nilang information, pwede silang mag-come up with a possible recommendation. No? Also, research is the process of gathering data or information to solve a particular or scientific problem in a scientific manner. So, syempre ito, ang focus lang natin dito, criminological research about crimes, di ba? About criminals, about law enforcement. Iyon yung mga, kumbaga, malapit na topic na dapat nating ginagawa patungkol sa research. Di ba? Sa society, particularly sa crime, 'di ba? Sa nangyayaring mga krimen, sa law enforcement. Siyempre, focus natin din sa criminology area is law enforcement, investigation, forensics, no? Corrections, and even yung mga laws. Titignan natin kung effective ba, 'di ba? Yang mga bagay na 'yan, yung mga krimen, no? Inaalam natin yung mga 'yan in a scientific manner, 'di ba? Ano pa, a systematic process of collecting and logically analyzing information or data for some purpose. Okay? Ano pa? So ito, what is criminological research? So ito po, nakapokus na lang talaga siya sa criminology, no? So when we say criminological research, the systematic scientific study of crime, criminals, criminal behavior, and the criminal justice system utilizing empirical data to understand the causes, the trends, and victimization. So ayun, kasama pati yung ano no, criminal behavior and criminal justice system. Oh, yung criminal justice system natin as a process, 'di ba? Yung law enforcement, prosecution, court, corrections, community, pwedeng mag-conduct ng research eh, 'di ba? Kung how effective yung mga pillars of the criminal justice system na 'yan. When utilizing empirical data para maintindihan natin ano ba yung dahilan ng problema diyan? Ano ba yung mga current trends, no? At victimization. Yan, pasok yan sa criminological research. Okay? An important part of criminology is the study of criminological research. Napakahalaga ng criminological research, no? Sa pag-aaral natin ng criminology. Actually, meron nga, 'di ba, maririnig ka, bakit kasi may research pa, 'di ba? Pero mahalaga 'yan eh. Kailangan natin kasi ang research dahil sa mga susunod nating magiging topic. Mamaya tignan nyo, no, kung bakit mahalaga ang research. Okay, what is the purpose? To discover new facts about known phenomena. and to find answers to problems which are only partially solved by existing methods and information. Yun, di ba? Sinasabi ko nga, to find answers to problems. Di ba? Maaari kasing hindi lang natin alam yung possible solution eh. Pero kapag nag-conduct tayo ng research, malalaman natin kung paano natin masosolve yung particular problem in the society. And that is the importance of research, di ba? Oh, ano pa? Improve existing techniques and develop new instruments or products to provide basis for decision making in business, industry, education, government, and in other undertakings, and to satisfy researchers' curiosity. No? To expand or verify existing knowledge, to promote health and prolong life. No? So yun po yung mga purposes of research. No? Kung kaya tayo nagkakandak ng research ay dahil sa mga yan, no? Sa iba't ibang areas ng buhay, ginagamitan ng research. Tingnan niyo yung number 7, to promote health and prolong life. Diba? Kung hindi nag-research yung mga scientists natin, hindi natin malalaman yung mga gamot. Diba? Maaaring maraming mga sakit pa na hindi nalulunasan because hindi nag-conduct ng research sa gamot. Diba? To expand or verify existing knowledge dito sa number 6, no? So maaaring through research, mas lumawak yung pag-intindi natin sa mga topic o sa mga bagay-bagay na akala natin yun lang yun, 'di ba? Imagine if nanatili yung pag-aaral ng criminology sa atavistic stigmata, no? Alam niyo ba yung atavistic stigmata or atavism? Oh, so kung hindi nag-evolve yung understanding natin doon sa criminality that using only atavism, 'di ba, as the only source of criminal behavior, eh baka hanggang ngayon yun ang tingin natin kapag ang itsura ng tao ay mukhang hindi kaaya-aya, eh siya pala ay criminal, pero hindi ganoon eh. As time goes on, during the conduct of research, mas lumalalim, nag-iiba-iba ang mga paliwanag sa mga bagay-bagay sa mundo. Okay? Now, why is it important to learn criminological research? Bakit ba importante na malaman natin o matutunan natin ang criminological research? So, learning criminological research is essential because it teaches you how to think scientifically about crime, not just emotionally or politically. Kasi ang research, hindi naman political yan eh. Although pwedeng magamit in some ways politically, pero ang research kasi, ang end niyan is the data or the facts eh. 'Di ba? Halimbawa, dumami ba o bumaba ang krimen after the term of President Duterte? 'Di ba? Dumami ba ulit ang kriminal o umonti ba ang kriminal? So hindi natin masasagot 'yan na yes or no. Kailangan muna natin magkaroon ng research. Kailangan we use scientific knowledge. Dapat ang sagot natin is may scientific basis, 'di ba? At 'yun ang research, 'di ba? Oh, 'yan no. Sabi doon sa picture, oh, Villar hits DA for high budget on corn research. 'Di ba? Yung pagre-research daw sa corn. Baliw na baliw kayo sa research. Eh, kaya siguro naglagay ng budget diyan sa corn research na 'yan para kasi ang corn, 'di ba, it is an alternative price. Kailangan natin ng research. 'Di ba? Kasi nga, it is an alternative to rice. So kung mas lalaki, mas mas lulusog itong mga corns natin sa Pilipinas, pwede pa nga natin i-export yan eh. Ibenta sa labas eh. 'Di ba? Oh. So that is criminological research, how to think scientifically about crime. No? Now, why it is important to learn criminological research? So sabi dito, It helps you understand the real causes of crime. Ano daw ba? Yung pinaka nasa baba, it helps you understand the real causes of crime. Ano ba ang pinaka dahilan kung bakit nagkaroon ng krimen? Pangalawa, it helps you evaluate policies. Di ba? Yung mga crime policies, pwede mong evaluate yan kung nakakatulong ba talaga. Halimbawa, halimbawa, no, yung Oplan Tokhang nung panahon ni President Duterte, double barrel kung tawagin. Now, pwede mong i-evaluate yung crime policies kung yung ba talagang Oplan na yon ay nakatulong sa society. Di ba? Nakatulong ba siya? Effective ba siya itong Oplan Tokhang na to? O ano pa? It protects you from being misled. Ayan, kasi nga, sa dami ng fake news na naglilipana sa social media, maganda o importante na, na tayo ay mag-fact check. Di ba? So, dito sa criminological research na to, sila mismo yung nagsasabi, ito ang data. Ito ang listahan ng accomplishment ng PNP. Ito yung mga naaresto. Ito yung mga nahuli. Ito yung mga napakulong. No? Hindi basta may magsasalita lang na vlogger, di ba? Paniniwalaan agad natin, o tama yun kasi politically aligned tayo dun sa sinasabi niya, di ba? Kaya nga may research eh. Kasi yung research niya, pinapakita niyan yung totoong realidad. Di ba? Ano pa? It improves professional practice. Siyempre, due to research, makikita mo, ito pala yung ginagawa sa ibang bansa. Pwede nating ma-adapt to sa ating law enforcement. Pwede nating ma-adapt to sa ating bansa. Mag-i-improve yung professional practice natin. Diba? Dati wala namang body-worn camera. Pero ngayon, di ba, meron ng rules. Kapag may operation, police operation, dapat meron silang body-worn camera para pwede mong ma-review kung proper ba ang ginawa nilang approach sa mga police operation. And at the same time, yan din po yung magiging defense nila if ever pagdating sa korte na tama ang ginawa nilang proseso sa trabaho nila. Diba? At it allows you to conduct your own research. Kung gusto mong kontrahin yon, kung gusto mong suportahan yon, di ba? You are conducting research. Kasi tatandaan nyo, yung mga research na yan, meron yung mga related literatures and studies eh. Di ba? Yung ating pag-aaral, may mga nauna dyan at meron tayong kinukuha to support our claim sa isang particular na bagay. That's why it allows you to conduct your own research. Di ba? Ah, ano pa? So ito po yun, no? It helps you understand the real causes of crime. Yan yung number one kanina, no? Many people have opinions about why crime happens. So may nagsasabi, kahirapan, may nagsasabi bad parenting, may nagsasabi dahil sa social media yan. Kakapanood mo, 'di ba? Napapanood mo, ginagaya mo lalo na sa bata, no? Dahil wala kasing batas eh. O kaya yung batas kasi natin mahina, 'di ba? So, it helps you understand the real causes of crime. E di, gawan mo ng research yan. Malaman mo kung kahirapan ba talaga ang dahilan. O hindi napalaki ng maayos ng magulang yung bata, neglected child pala, abandoned child pala. Ano pa? Social media, no? Napapanood ng bata eh. Ginagaya yung nakikita sa TikTok, pranksters, di ba? Oh. And mahina yung batas, 'di ba? Kaya nagkakaroon o laganap ang krimen. O kaya baka wala talagang batas, no? So that is number one. It helps you understand the real causes of crime. Okay, for example, research inspired by theories like those of Robert K. Merton. Kilala niyo ba si Robert K. Merton? Has examined how social inequality social inequality, no? And black opportunities may contribute to crime. Diba? Because of social inequality, itong mayayaman, mas madali nilang nakukuha yung dreams nila dahil meron silang opportunity, may kakayahan sila. 'Di ba? Kaya nga yung iba nagke-create ng subculture eh, 'di ba sa theories of crime nyo. Some people that cannot attain the goals in life created an alternative way to attain that is by creating a subculture, 'di ba? Oh, ano pa? Kasi merong mga nagbo-block ng opportunity eh. 'Di ba? Halimbawa, gusto mong yumaman, gusto mong maging successful sa buhay, kaya lang hindi ka nakapag-aral. Oh, paano gagawin mo? Hindi ka makapasok ng trabaho maayos. Oh, pangalawa, wala ka namang pera pang negosyo, pero gusto mong yumaman. So, it may contribute to crime eh, di ba? Pwedeng sumali siya sa criminal gangs, di ba? Oh, yun yung mag-push sa kanya gumawa ng krimen. Oh, instead of guessing, researchers collect data to see whether inequality is actually linked to higher crime rate. So, yun yung sinasabi ko kanina. So, instead of guessing, instead of manghula tayo at maniwala tayo sa kung sinong vlogger dyan, pwede naman mag-conduct ng research. 'Di ba? Para makapag-collect tayo ng data para malaman natin kung inequality ba talaga ang dahilan ng krimen? Ba't malala ang krimen dito sa Santa Maria, dito sa Bulacan? Is actually linked to higher crime rates. Second, it helps you evaluate crime policies. Diba? Yung mga policy ng government. Government create policies such as, for example, death penalty, life imprisonment. Diba? Napapanahon na ba? Are you in favor of reactivation of the death penalty in the Philippines? Pwede kang magkaroon ng research dyan. Magtatanong ka ngayon, no? Oh, based sa recent happening in our society, rampant criminality, pabor na ba kayo na ibalik ang death penalty? Oh, pabor ba kayo na gumawa ng batas para taasan ang mga crime, mga heinous crime? No? So yun, gagawa ka ng research doon. Hindi yung manghuhula ka lang, 'di ba? Ay sabi ng marami, gusto ng marami din penalty. Ano ang basis mo? 'Di ba? Ito po ang research ko. O papakita mo yung research ko. Nagtanong po ako sa 500 na estudyante ng criminology at ang kanilang ayun, ito po ang result. Ano pa? Age of criminal responsibility. Oh, pabor ba kayo na babaan ang criminal responsibility age? Kasi 15 and below, walang criminal liability yan eh. Oh, gusto nyo ba maging 12? Gusto nyo ba maging 10? Pagkanda ka ng research para malaman mo yung pulso nila. Ano pa? Rehabilitation. Programs for drug offenders. O, pabor ba kayo? O ano kaya sa tingin nyo yung mga programa na pwede makatulong, 'di ba, sa mga drug offenders natin? Okay? But do these policies actually reduce crime? So criminological research allows you to measure crime rates before and after policy. So pwede mong gawin 'yun, ano? Halimbawa, nagkaroon na ng death penalty. Reinstatement of death penalty in the Philippines. So pwede ka ngayon mag-conduct ng research before and after the implementation of the death penalty, ano ang naging effect niya? Positive ba? Ibig sabihin, bumaba ba ang criminality? O kaya naman negative? Di ba? Tumaas lalo. Ang makakasagot niyan hindi ako, hindi yung mga vlogger, kundi yung magiging resulta ng research na gagawin mo. Ano pa, compare different communities. Tignan nyo, bakit doon sa lugar na yan mas payapa, bakit dito sa atin hindi. Through research, malalaman mo ang difference and evaluate effectiveness. Ayan, kung may batas tayo, halimbawa, Republic Act 9344 or the Juvenile Justice Welfare Act pagdating sa mga juveniles. So, effective ba yung batas na yan? Tignan natin, mag-conduct tayo ng research. Hindi lang basta sa respondent, pati na rin doon sa mga resulta. No? Pwede kang kumuha ng information coming from different agencies. The PNP, meron silang Women's Children Protection Center. Pwede mong makita doon kung meron bang record na yung mga child in conflict with the law, 'di ba? Is marami, 'di ba? Or DSWD, makikita mo the Bahay Pag-asa. You will evaluate the effectiveness of the law. Okay, it protects you from being misled. Ayan nga, crime statistics are often used in media and politics. However, statistics can be incomplete. Nako, baka naman incomplete yung pinakita mo, yung resulta, hindi yan applicable din. Ibig sabihin, dinaya mo lang para magmukhang masama o mabuti yung resulta ng survey mo. Di ba? Halimbawa, nagkanda ka ng survey, di ba? Effective ba ang law enforcement ng Santa Maria, Bulacan? Tinanong mo yung mga polis lang o mismong polis ang respondent. Natural ang sasabihin niyan, effective kami, very effective. 'Di ba? So parang bias 'yun. Dapat ang tanungin mo kung sino yung nakikinabang dun sa law enforcement works nila, which is the community. 'Di ba? Kasi sila yung benefactor eh. Sila yung mga nakinabang eh. Sila yung magsasabi, "Ay, effective oo kasi nararamdaman namin wala talagang nangyayari o madalang lang magkaroon ng krimen. Nahuhuli yung mga krimen." 'Di ba? Ano pa, data can be misinterpreted. Ayan. And correlation can be confused with causation. Ano pa? Crime statistics. Okay. Dahil nabanggit natin is sa law enforcement, syempre kasama din dyan yung crime statistics. Ano ba yun? A mathematical measure of the level or amount of crime prevalent in a given area at a given time. Okay. It is based on yung statistics daw, based yan sa crime volume, index crime, non-index crime, crime rate. Yan po ay makikita sa PNP Fundamental Doctrine, no? Itong crime statistics na to. Now, sa crime statistics, makikita doon yung crime volume. Ayan. Ano po ba yung crime volume? When we say crime volume, ito po yung dami ng reported crime incident sa isang given area. Kapag po report ka sa PNP yan, no? O, yan po ay masasama na sa tinatawag nating crime volume. Okay? Now, ano po yung dalawa? Index and non-index crime. Ayan, magandang malaman natin yan. Ano po ba yung index crime? Pag sinabi mong index crime, ito po yung iba't ibang focus crime ng PNP. 'Di ba? Meron po kasi tayong tinatawag na mga focus crime sa PNP. At yan po yung tinatawag nating index crime. Okay? Pero pag sinabi mo namang non-index, guys, ito po yung mga special law. Okay? Ito po yung mga special law. Ano po ba yung kaibahan niyan? Sa index crime kasi, halimbawa, yung murder, homicide, physical injury, no? Ano pa? Robbery, theft, then carnapping. Oh, rape syempre kasama. Baka hindi ko nabanggit. So, yung mga yan, index crime yan, guys, index crime. So, kapag may report pa lang ha, hindi pa na-solve, reported pa lang, may pumunta sa police station, maituturing yan na index crime. Okay? Kapag sinabi mo namang non-index, mga special law yan. Yung mga illegal possession of firearms, no? Pasok yan sa mga non-index crime. Okay, so yun po yung crime volume ha. Kapag report yung incident sa PNP, mahati yan either in index crime or non-index crime. Okay, so another is yung tinatawag nating crime solved, crime cleared, and crime closed. Okay, ano kaya ang pagkakaiba nun? Ano ba pagkakaiba? Oh, ito kinuha ko lang to sa mismong NCRPO official page. Ayan, naglagay sila ng pagkakaiba. Galing sa PNP to, no? Sabi dito, ang isang criminal case ay maaaring maklasify bilang solved, cleared, o closed. Depende sa status ng offender at sa completion ng legal procedure. So, paano ba masasabing crime solved? Ito. Una, na-identify ang offender. Okay? Pangalawa, may ebidensya para ma-charge siya. Okay? May ebidensyang hawak ang pulis, nakuha niya para maaresto. At pangatlo, nasa custody ang tao. O in short, na-aresto na yung tao. Okay? Pang-apat is na-file na ang kaso sa piskal o sa korte na may tamang jurisdiction. Okay? Identified, arrest, filed, yan yung tinatawag na crime or case solved. Okay? Sir, ano naman po yung case cleared? Pag sinabing case cleared, na-identify, may ebidensya, no? At na-aresto. Pero ano yung pagkakaiba? Wala pang formal filing sa piskal o sa korte. Tatandaan nyo, kaya nila ginagamit yan kasi sa ano lang nila yan eh. Kumbaga dun lang sa kanilang ah, jurisdiction, guys. Hindi naman, pag sinabing court, case cleared, nakulong na, ganyan. Kasi take note, yan po ay trabaho lang ng pulis. Siyempre, after niyan, trabaho na ng piskal eh. 'Di ba? Kaya para sa kanila, matuturing na case solved yan. 'Di ba? Yung kanina. At ito, case cleared. 'Di ba? Wala pang formal filing ng kaso. Pero case cleared na. Bakit? Na-identify na yung offender. May mga ebidensya na at naaresto na rin natin. 'Di ba? Cleared na 'yan. At pag sinabing case closed, na-identify ang tao, may ebidensya, pero wala pa sa custody ang tao. 'Di ba? Pero may documentation na 'yan for proper disposition. Ang problema, wala pa sa custody ng PNP. Kaya tinatawag na case closed. Okay, so huwag kayong malilito dyan. Case solved, case cleared, case closed. Okay, next. Why is it important to learn criminological research? Number 4 is because it improves professional practice. If you will become a criminologist or practitioner, you will need to, syempre, interpret reports. Syempre, pag gumawa ka ng report, ipe-present mo yan sa boss mo, sa hepe mo. Use evidence-based practices. Make informed decisions. And modern CJS rely on evidence-based policy. Siyempre, it will improve your professional practice since kapag nagkakanda ka ng research, ma-update ka kung ano ba yung latest trend. Diba? So, mas makakatulong to sa trabaho mo. Okay, number 5, it allows you to conduct your own research. So sabi ko nga, as criminology students, you may need to write a thesis, conduct survey, interview offenders, and analyze crime data. So kapag ginawa natin to, malalaman natin, di ba, kung ano ba yung dahilan doon sa particular problem at pwede tayo makapagbigay ng solution. Okay? Distinctive characteristics of research. Okay? Ano po ba yung mga characteristics ng isang research? Number 1, ang research daw ay collaborative. Okay? Research is collaborative. Ano ibig sabihin? It requires collaborative activities and extensive participation by the researcher and the clients. Hindi ka makakapag-research kung wala kang respondent, kung hindi mo sila tatanungin. Kung aasa ka lang sa secondary source mo, wala kang primary source, magiging incomplete yan. Hindi mo makukuha ng maayos yung data. Di ba? Kasi pwedeng marami kang librong nakikita, may mga news, may mga thesis pa regarding that particular topic. Ang problema, hindi mo na interview, hindi mo na pasagutan ng survey questionnaire yung mga tao, 'di ba? Sa pinag-aaralan mo or yung tinatawag natin na respondents. That's why research must be collaborative, 'di ba? Yung researcher at yung clients, yung mga respondents, dapat they can collaborate para magkaroon ng maayos na research. Okay, pangalawa, research is systematic. Before the research begins, a plan is in place that describes what data to be collected and when, how, and how often to collect data or tinatawag nating step by step. Kasi sa conduct of research, kailangan meron munang plano yan. 'Di ba? Systematic yan, guys. Parang sa paggawa ng research, 'di ba? Tinuturuan kayo, ano ba ang uunahin natin? Siyempre, dapat mag-isip ka ng particular topic mo or yung particular area kung ano yung gusto mong pag-aralan na research. 'Di ba? Ano yung mga current problems na encounter mo as a criminology student, yung nakikita mo sa society. Siyempre, doon ka magsisimula eh. 'Di ba? You must create a title. I-create ka ng title based dun sa topic na gusto mo. And the rest follow. Diba? Gagawa ka ng statement of the problem. Diba? Magre-research ka na ng mga related literatures. Anong research design? Diba? Survey questions. Yan po. No? Step by step. Pag sinabing research is systematic. Next, research is evidence. Ah, ano daw to, no? Yung number 3. Research is evidence-based. Ayan, evidence-based. It relies on systematically collected data and verified information rather than personal opinions or assumptions. 'Di ba? Ibig sabihin, hindi mo siya tatanungin sa opinion niya. Ano bang palagay niyo, sir? 'Di ba? Ang tatanungin mo sa kanya is yung yung mga facts, 'di ba? Based sa inyong questionnaire. Oh, it uses factual evidence to analyze problems, test ideas, and draw reliable conclusion. Okay? Research is cyclical. Diba? Research is cyclical. Described as a process. Involves us ongoing series of steps such as asking question, collecting data, analyzing result, and refining ideas so that the knowledge is constantly tested and improved. Cycle, no? Process. Ibig sabihin, ang research daw ay isang proseso. Okay? Next, research is reflective. It requires a critical reflection on what has happened using observations method. Researchers review their methods, findings, and experiences to evaluate what worked, what did not, and how the study can be improved. Okay? So ito, syempre, yung pagkakandak mo ng research, kailangan may reflection din yan. 'Di ba? Ano bang nangyari using observations? 'Di ba? Ano ba yung mga method na ginamit ko? Ano yung findings? Ano yung experience ko? 'Di ba? So, reflective ang research. And research is problem-centered. 'Di ba? Ibig sabihin, client-centered and action-centered. Involves client system in a diagnostic, active learning, problem finding, and problem solving. Again, 'di ba? Ang research, no, we are identifying, we must know what is the particular cause of that problem. Yan yung research eh. Problem-centered siya. Client-centered in such a way that all the information must came from the clients and not you as a researcher. You are not part, hindi ikaw ang client. 'Di ba? Meron kang particular group of respondents. 'Di ba? And action-centered. Okay? Research is challenging and complex. Iba itong subject na to, guys eh. Unlike others, no? Kasi to, output-based to. 'Di ba yung subject na to? It is output-based in such a way that if at the end of the semester, wala kang output, kahit umattend ka ng klase, pwede kang bumagsak. Actually, babagsak ka talaga. Kasi wala kang madidefend eh. 'Di ba? Wala kang madidefend, walang output. So kahit gaano ka kasipag pumasok, hindi ka pwede pumasa. 'Di ba? Kasi ang output ng subject na to is your research. 'Di ba? Magta-title defense ka, 'di ba? Magpe-pre-oral ka pa, may final defense pa yan. So challenging siya. And collaborative, kanina kung naalala nyo, no? Research is collaborative. 'Di ba? Kailangan may kasama ka diyan, katulong ka diyan sa paggawa ng research, 'di ba? Ah, parts of training-oriented research. Okay? So, parts of training-oriented research, we have two phases of research, the pre-empirical and empirical phase. So, when we say pre-empirical, it involves planning, more on theory and concepts, came from secondary sources. Ideal place to find sources in the library. Uses future tense. Yan po yung makikita doon sa chapters 1 to 3. Yung tinatawag nating pre-empirical phase. Okay? More on theories and concepts, 'di ba? Secondary sources. Pero pagdating mo ng 4 and 5, nagkanta ka na ng survey niyan, lumabas na kayo niyan ng klase. This is the practical experience of the researcher came from the primary sources. The reality in the field uses past tense. Kasi tapos mo na eh. Diba? Tapos mo na yung research. So, empirical phase na yan, guys. Chapter 4 and chapter 5. Okay? Uh, Now, we will now move on with the types of research. Okay, types of research. Okay. So first category is according to the kind of researcher. So ito po is, ang tinitingnan naman natin dito is according to the kind of researcher daw. Okay, academic research and research project. So ano ba difference niyan? So when we say academic research, yan po yung ginagawa sa eskwelahan, no? One conducted by an individual in fulfilling the requirements for the conferment of an academic title or degree. So for example, BS in criminology. Merong research subject yan. And once na na-fulfill mo yan, no? So, pwede ka makagraduate. Pwede mo ma-earn yung degree mo na degree holder, no? BS in Criminology graduate. Also, sa masters, no? Master of Science in Criminology or Criminal Justice. Meron ding research yan or thesis na tinatawag, no? Thesis din po ang tawag dun sa paper niya, no? Just like in undergrad thesis. But when we say in college, in doctorate degrees, PhD, hindi na po thesis ang tawag dyan. Yan na po yung tinatawag natin na dissertation. Okay? Dissertation. Yun na po yung kaibahan nun. While a research project, it is undertaken by an individual as part of his professional work. Yung mga SWS surveys, yung mga nagkakandak, for example, nagkakandak sila ng research, yung mga sa connected sa GMA, sa EBS, no? And other professional agencies or industries, they conducted research project in connection sa kanilang trabaho. Halimbawa, ikaw ba ay satisfied sa pamumuno ng gobyerno natin? Di ba nagkakandak ng mga surveys yan? Tapos i-interpret nila yan, no? Yung mga datang makukuha nila, they will interpret it. So, yun po yung tinatag na mga research projects lang. Ha? So, yun yung pagkakaiba ha. Yung isa, ay academic research, ginagamit yung research sa school, and yung pangalawa sa trabaho na research project. Okay? Next is according to use of or application of research. According to use or application of research. So, meron tayo tinatawag na pure or theoretical. Pure or theoretical. At sa kabilang banda is yung applied or practical. Ano namang pagkakaiba po niyan? Pag sinabing pure or theoretical research, it is done for the purpose of formulating a theory. It is created o ginagawa siya to formulate a theory. 'Di ba? Kung sa pag-aaral natin ng criminology, meron nga tayong different theories eh, 'di ba? To explain criminality either biologically, psychologically, or sociologically, yung mga criminologists, they formulate a theory to explain a particular phenomena. So kapag gumagawa ka ng research to formulate a theory, it is considered a pure research. No? Principle or law with no intended application of results, it is also called basic research. No? Tinatawag din yang basic research. So, itong ginagawa mo, wala namang intention siya to apply yung resulta. 'Di ba? Hindi siya ginawa for applying the result into a specific na problem. Basta pinapaliwanag mo lang siya, gusto mo lang siyang malaman kung bakit ganito, 'di ba? So parang ganito yung sa college din eh, no? Pure or theoretical research lang ang ginagawa mo. Basic research din, no, tawag diyan. Pero pag sinabi nating applied or practical, you are testing or evaluating a theory or knowledge with practical goal in mind, such as immediate solution to a problem. Halimbawa, meron kang nakikitang problema sa society, kaya ka nag-conduct ng research kasi yung magiging resulta nun ay gagamitin ng gobyerno. So practical research siya or applied research. Gagamitin yung resulta ng ginawa mong research sa isang problema para masolusyonan yan. Kaya tinatawag na applied or practical research. Okay. Pure theoretical research. Example, yung mga perception, awareness, opinion of respondents. So, dito papasok, theoretical lang yan, basic research lang yan eh. Di ba? Anong perception ba ng community sa crime? Di ba? Crime proliferation sa isang lugar. So, pure or theoretical lang yun. Di ba? Gaano ba ka-aware ang mga bata sa cybercrime law? Gaano ba sila ka-aware sa anti-pornography law? Gaano ba ka-aware ang barangay sa katarungang pambarangay? So on and so forth, no? So yan pure or theoretical. Malaman mo man yan, wala namang immediate na pangangailangan. Unlike applied or practical, ayun, you are proposing policies or programs. 'Di ba? Pasok din diyan yung halimbawa gumagawa ng research para makapag-imbento mga produkto, 'di ba? Oh, for example, gumawa ka, ito hindi naman na criminological, no? Halimbawa, nag-research ka ng isang ingredient o isang formula para mas mamunga, no, yung mangga, no? All year round makapagpamunga ka ng mangga. 'Di ba? So invention 'yun, applied or practical research yung ginawa mo kasi magagamit 'yun eh. 'Di ba? Next is according to method of data analysis. According to method of data analysis. So ano naman po 'yan? So meron tayong dalawang klaseng method of data analysis. Either quantitative or qualitative research. Quantitative or qualitative research. So anong pagkakaiba niyan dalawa? So when we say quantitative, di ba? Data subjected to analysis are in the form of numbers. Ginagamitan ng numbers, no? From precise measurements, data are analyzed using statistical measurement. Okay? O, tandaan nyo na quantitative form of numbers. Researches that use statistical pure formula. Halimbawa, yung mga chi-square, ANOVA or analysis of variance, t-test, z-test in interpretation of findings. Quantitative. Yan ang usual na pinapagamit o ginagawa ng mga college, di ba? Ng mga sa criminology. Quantitative kasi yaan po gumagamit tayo ng mga numbers for precise measurement. For example, ilan number of respondents, 'di ba? Oh, meron niyang survey questionnaire, kailangan irarank mo yung mga sagot nila, anong formula yung gagamitin mong statistical tool, 'di ba? Yung mga basic, yung mga percentage, weighted mean. No? So, quantitative research po ang tawag dyan. Okay? We have three kinds of quantitative research. Okay? May tatlong iba't ibang uri ng quantitative. So, ano daw yun? Survey, correlational, and experimental. Unahin natin yung survey. When we say survey, uses interview questionnaires and sample. 'Di ba? Halimbawa, may pumupunta sa lugar nyo para magtanong, 'di ba? Nag-i-interview, survey 'yon. Oh, gaano po kayo, sino po iboboto nyo? 'Di ba? May mga ganyan, no? Oh, kayo po ba ay kontento sa pamamalakad ni Mayor bla bla bla? Oh, survey 'yon, no? May pinapasagutan pa sa inyo questionnaire, oh. May chine-checkan kayo, 'di ba? Epektibo, hindi epektibo, 'di ba? Survey 'yun, quantitative research survey. Next. Oh, pag sinabi mo namang correlational research, it tests the relationship between two variables. Okay? Two variables. Paano naman po 'yan? Okay, halimbawa, relationship, 'di ba? Mga relationship 'yan, halimbawa, relationship between unemployment and criminality, 'di ba? May kaugnayan ba ang walang trabaho sa criminality ng isang lugar? Halimbawa, relationship ng ano pa? Substance abuse, yung pagdodroga, and violent crimes. 'Di ba? Pasok 'yan dito correlation. Yung mga relationship na mga pag-aaral, pasok 'yan dito sa correlational. Okay? Experimental. Okay? Ano naman po yung tinatawag nating experimental research? 'Di ba? Pag sinabi mong experimental, pasok 'yan sa cause and effect phenomenon, Cause and effect phenomenon. Halimbawa, no, experimental guys, no, cause and effect phenomenon 'yan. Halimbawa lang ito isang halimbawa lang, sample is yung police body worn camera, yung BWC, 'di ba? So halimbawa, gusto mo yung cause and effect, halimbawa, ang tanong natin ay nakaka-reduce ba talaga ng ah, violation, no, ng or use of excessive force ang body worn camera? So, pwede mo gawin, example, may 10 police officer na pasuotin ka ng body-worn camera, may 10 walang body-worn camera. So, after 6 months, pwede mo i-compare. 'Di ba? O, compare mo, baka may complaint. Sino ba mas maraming complaint dun sa mga police na may body-worn camera o wala? 'Di ba? So, if yung officers, no, with cameras ay nagpapakita ng fewer complaint, so ibig sabihin, yung body worn camera is may improvement yung paggamit nun. 'Di ba? Yun yung tinatawag nating experimental. Guys, no? Kumbaga, titignan mo yung cause and effect. So sa isang bagay, iche-check mo siya kung ano yung epekto niya, no? Yung kung ano yung magiging epekto niya based on experiments. Okay? Next is yung tinatawag na qualitative. Ano naman ang pagkakaiba ng tinatawag nating qualitative research? Kanina quantitative, more on numbers. Ito naman more on words. 'Di ba? Kanina puro numbers ilan, gaano karami. Ito naman salita, work more on using descriptive words and theme. It does not rely on statistical treatment to analyze finding, okay? So we have 4 kinds of qualitative research. Yung tinatawag nating ethnographic, phenomenological, historical, at case study. Okay, case study. Okay. Number 1 is yung ethnographic research. Ano po ba yung ethnographic, no? Pag sinabi mong ethnographic research investigates culture through community immersion. Pupunta ka dun sa lugar. Aalamin mo personally, first-hand experience kung ano ba talaga ang nangyayari dun sa lugar. Tumira ka dun, 'di ba? Oh, bisitahin mo yung lugar na yun. Investigates culture through community immersion. Yan po yung ethnographic research. Okay? Number 2, phenomenological research aims to describe an experience as it is actually lived by the person. Di ba? Ano naman ibig sabihin kaya nun? Okay. Yung mga experience ng tao, for example, is yung experience ng mga biktima ng cybercrime. Di ba? Pwedeng ini-interview mo yung mga na-scam. 'Di ba? Ano yung kanilang naging emotion, yung reaction, yung coping strategy nila para malabanan yung krimen na nangyari sa kanila, 'di ba? Dahil naging biktima sila. 'Yun, example 'yan ng phenomenological research. Yung mga life experiences ng tao through interview ay kukunin mo, Next is historical research. Okay. So historical research involves analysis of events that occurred to trace its development. Okay. So paano natin i-relate sa criminology? For example, history ng death penalty in the Philippines. Pwede mong i-check dyan yung mga batas, yung court decisions, yung mga record ng na-execute over the decades. 'di ba? Pwede kang mag-conduct ng interview, 'di ba, sa mga former death convicts or sa mga jail officers, correction officers, no? Na pwedeng makapagbigay ng perspective dun sa topic mo, no? Yun po yung historical research na tinatawag. Okay? Next is case study. Okay? Case study. So ano po ba yung case study? Conducted to understand a particular case, person, or organization. Diba? Ito po ay in-depth and detailed. In-depth and detailed po. Ito mga nakapokus to sa isang ano lang kaso lang 'di ba? Or few cases lang in particular. 'Di ba? Oh, for example, yung serial offender, serial killer, i-case study mo siya, 'di ba? Yung childhood background, psychological traits, yung patterns niya, yung modus operandi, no, tsaka yung mga motives niya. Ang goal kasi dito is to understand yung factors that shape his or her behavior. Kaya case study to. Nakapokus lang siya sa particular case o person o isang organization. Okay? Next is yung tinatawag nating according to research methodology. Okay? Descriptive, experimental, and historical. Okay? So pag sinabing descriptive research, seeks to describe a situation, problem, or phenomenon. Ito yung pinaka-common sa mga criminology research, di ba? Answers the questions, what is the status of, what is the nature of ng isang bagay, isang topic. Okay. So, descriptive, no? What is happening? Ano ba yung nangyayari? 'Di ba? Yan yung inaalam ng descriptive, research na tinatawag, no? Ah. Pag sinabi mo namang experimental, the cause and effect, tulad ng in-example ko nga kanina, 'di ba? Ano ang epekto? Ano ang dahilan at ano magiging epekto, no? Answers the questions what will happen if, what happens next after. So yan po yung experimental research. And historical, attempt to explain an incident that happened in the past with the use of data taken from the past. Okay? Other research methodologies, yung tinatawag na evaluation research, seeks to determine the effects of a social program or other types of intervention and considers the implementation and outcomes of social policies and programs. Diba? I-identify mo, you will evaluate yung isang social program. For example, sa criminology, 'di ba? Kumbaga, anong program ba ang pwede mong i-evaluate. For example, evaluate mo yung drug rehabilitation program ng Department of Health, for example. So, pwede mong gamitan yan ng evaluation research. Titignan mo dyan yung implementation niya, kung nai-implement ba maigi, ano yung outcome ng policy and program na ginagawa sa mga drug dependents, no? Next, explanatory seeks to identify the causes and effects of social phenomena to predict how one phenomenon will change or vary in response to variation in some other phenomenon. At panguli, exploratory, undertaken where there is little or no known facts about subject matter. Examples are feasibility study or pilot study. Kasi pag sinabi exploratory, ito yung una, 'di ba? Parang ikaw yung pinakaunang gagawa ng study na yan, pilot study. Now, for example, you will conduct a research on the war that happened, the tensions happened in the year 2026 sa Iran and US-Israel. So, pilot study yan, ikaw pa lang gagawa. Maaari may gumawa previously yung mga nangyaring tensions. Pero dahil ang gagawin mo is 2026, Israel and Iran war, ngayon lang po yan, di ba? Kung gagawin mo yan, that will be a pilot study. Okay? Next topic is yung tinatawag nating characteristics of a good research problem. Okay? Characteristics of a good research problem. Okay? Or tinatawag natin na SMART. Okay? SMART. Ano po ba yan? Pag sinabing SMART, acronym yan eh. 'Di ba? S is for specific or clearly stated. 'Di ba? Dapat daw ang research problem is clearly stated, naiintindihan, specific. Pag sinabing about drunkenness or about drug abuse, specifically, it is stated on your problem. Second is measurable. Dapat kaya mong i-measure. 'Di ba? Yung susukatin mo dapat kaya mong i-measure. Ilan ba ang respondents natin? Saan ba gagawin yung survey, no? Pangatlo is achievable. The results can be achieved using appropriate measures such as statistics. Achievable siya. Dapat yung research problem mo, achievable, kaya mong ma-resolve, kaya mong malaman. 'Di ba? Achievable siya. 'Di ba? Ano pa? Realistic. Results are not manipulated or invented. Baka mamaya kasi dahil tinamad yung grupo o yung tao mag-research, baka minanipulate niya na yung resulta. Anong ibig sabihin ng manipulation? Dinaya, hindi organic, hindi legitimate. 'Di ba? Yun yung realistic. Results are not manipulated. Baka dahil gusto mong ibalik yung death penalty, yung sagot diyan o yung mga taong tinanong mo is yung mga pro-death penalty. 'Di ba? So dapat realistic tayo. Dapat ang problem is not manipulated or the result of the research is not manipulated. And time bound can be done with a specified period. Dapat meron kang target goal. Kailan ba yan? Or hanggang kailan ba yung research na yan? Yun yung tinatawag nating time bound. Okay? Next, collection of data. Collection of data. Paano ba magko-collect ng data? No? Pag sinabing data, these are collection of numbers, quantities, facts, or record used as basis for drawing conclusions or making inferences. What research is searching for and which are subjected to analysis, statistical procedure, and interpretation so that inferences, principles, or generalizations are truth. Yung data na nakukuha natin, gagamitin natin sa research. 'Di ba? So we have two kinds of classification of data according to source. Yung primary and secondary data. So tingnan natin, saan ba kumukuha ng data ang researcher? Una is yung primary data. Yan po ay gathered sa mga primary resources o sources. So when we say primary sources, ito po yung mga tao na tinatanong nyo. Yung mga respondents na pinapasagot nyo ng survey question, yan po yung primary sources. Okay? Organized group such as school, business firm, government agencies, document in their original form such as laws, contracts. Yan po ay primary source o sources. 'Di ba? Oh. Then the secondary data, yan po ay nanggagaling sa secondary sources. So saan po ba yan? Pwedeng nakita mo sa libro, sa library, sa dictionary, 'di ba? Encyclopedia, article, journal, magazines, newspaper, thesis dissertation, and other studies. Yan po yung tinatawag na mga secondary sources. Okay? Uh, Research instrument is the tool used to collect data from the respondents. Okay? Ano ba yung two common research instrument? Ha? Survey questionnaire and interview. Para makakuha ka ng data, kailangan mo ng research instrument. Ano yung dalawang klaseng research instrument? Una is yung survey questionnaire. It is written or printed form containing the questions to be asked to the respondents. Diyan mo makikita, di ba, yung first part, demographic profile. Papasagutan mo, name optional, age, sex, or gender, highest educational attainment. Diba? Demographic muna yon. Then, the part 2 is the question proper. Tatanungin mo na siya doon. That is survey questionnaire. Okay? Then, interview. This is the interaction face-to-face between the researcher and the respondents. Okay? Data is collected using predetermined interview question. Okay. So dito sa survey question kasi guys, nakasulat na dun yung tanong at may choices. Sa interview kasi, yung mga sagot diyan ay walang choices eh. Manggagaling po lahat 'yan doon sa tao. Di ba? Yun po yung interview. Okay? Sampling. Ano naman yung sampling? The process of selecting a representative portion of the population that can be the source of data as respondents of the study. So, sino po ba ang tatanungin natin? Di ba? Respondents po ang tawag sa tinatanong natin. Ngayon, ang proseso para kumuha ng respondent ay tinatawag na sampling. Ha? Tatandaan natin. Ngayon, yung sample no, is no, represented by small letter n. A selection of respondents for a research study to represent the total population. At yung total population is represented by a big letter N. Consists of the total number of members of a group that a researcher is interested in studying. So, for example, ito, Slobin formula. This is the mathematical formula used to get the sample. Para makuha mo yung kung ilan ang respondent, yung total number of population, yung nasa taas, no? Yan po, no? The designed margin of error 1 plus the total population and the designed margin of error which is 0.05. You will get the sample size. Kasi it will be very time consuming, no? And syempre, magastos kapag tinanong mo lahat. Imagine dito sa atin ng 821 students in criminology. Tatanungin mo lahat 'yon kung anong perception nila sa death penalty, 'di ba? So, pwede kang gumamit ng Slobin formula para ma-solve, 'di ba? Kung ilan lang ang pwede o accepted na tanungin mo para makuha mo yung result na tanggap mo, 'di ba? Yung result na talagang yun yung sinasabi ng nakararami dun sa tao. Okay? So we have sampling methods. Ano ba yung mga sampling methods? Probability and non-probability. Ano ba pagkakaiba niyan? Probability and non-probability. So pag sinabi mo probability sampling, random selection of samples where every member of the population has a chance of being selected. Okay? Random po ginagawa yung probability. At ang probability, meron daw pong iba't ibang uri. Number 1 is simple random sampling. It is most frequently used. The chance of selection is the same. Example na lang ay parang sa lottery. No? Hindi patas ang lalaki babae, basta randomly ginagawa siya. So pwedeng maraming lalaki, pwedeng onting babae. Random po kasi yan. Simple random, no? It is most frequently used. Number two is systematic random sampling. So, ito, it follows specific step in doing a random selection. Dito, kahit na random, meron po siyang sistema. For example, unang 100 sa listahan. Halimbawa, binigyan ka ng listahan. Ito, mga criminology student to 821. Oh. Systematic, yung first 100, yun ang tanungin natin. O kaya, may interval. Di ba? So parang gano'n, no? May sistema siya. Random siya, hindi ka namili, pero linagyan mo ng specific na system, yung random selection mo. Next is stratified. Okay. Pag sinabing stratified, yung population is i-divide mo sa groups or categories na tinatawag na strata. Divide for example, you will divide the students into year level. So kung example, criminology, i-divide mo ilan ang first year, ilan ang second year, ilan ang third year, ilan ang fourth year. Yun yung stratified random sampling. At panghuli, cluster. Population is divided into groups called cluster. Cluster sampling is used when the target are spread across a geographic location. So pag sinabing cluster naman, ang basehan mo dyan is yung location nila. For example, sa Manila Police District, no? Police officers clusters into 11 police station. So yung 11 police station na yan, kukunan mo yan lahat. Kasi per cluster yung respondents mo, no? Pero take note, this is randomly selected. Kumbaga, inaayos lang din yung pagiging random. Kasi hindi naman pwede na yung random. Oh, ang respondents mo 500 o 100, 80 sa ICI, 20 sa ibang lugar, no? So, inaayos pa rin siya kahit na randomly selected siya. Okay, non-probability used when the researcher cannot employ random selection. Dito, hindi po pwedeng i-random kasi yung sasagot niyan dapat specific. Ibig sabihin, hindi masasagutan ng maayos yan kung randomly, di ba? Mamimili. Halimbawa, convenient sampling. Methods of selecting samples that are available and are capable of participating. Halimbawa, kung sino lang ang nandito, yun lang po ang sasagot. Convenience yun. Convenient sampling yun, ha? Ano pa? Snowballing. O ito. Identifies a key informant, then ask him or her about referral. For example, may sumagot na former na nag-i-scatter or illegal gambling. Kumbaga, dating sugarol to sa online. Ngayon, dahil wala kang kakilala, pwede mong tanongin yun, sir. Baka meron kayong mare-refer, baka may kakilala kayo o kaibigan na pwede rin namin tanongin din. Sige, i-refer ko kayo kay paring ganito, kay ganito, pupuntahan nyo. Snowballing yun, referral. Referral, no? At purposive. Samples are chosen for a special purpose. For example, yung OJT ay tinatanong nyo is yung mga nakaranas ng life experience, OJT experience in the Philippine National Police. Tatanungin mo doon. Di syempre, yung mga nag-OJT sa PNP, purposive yun na tinatawag, no? Samples are chosen for a special purpose. And quota sampling. No, what is quota sampling? Gathering a sample from a group based on certain characteristics of the population chosen. Example, there must be equal number of male and female, equal number of criminology students from each school. Diba? For example, quota sampling, 100 criminology student males. 100 females. O, di ba? Quota yun. O kaya, 100 in ICI, 100 in La Concepcion, 100 in San Gabriel, 100 in Besling, so on and so forth. Quota sampling yun. Ibig sabihin, meron siyang specific, no? number of respondents. Next is yung tinatawag nating variables in research. When we say variables, attributes or characteristics that can vary and can affect or change the result of the study. For example, characteristic of the respondents, setting of the study. Now, we have four kinds of variables. Yung tinatawag nating independent, dependent, intervening, and constant variables. Okay? Ano po ba ang unang klaseng variable natin? Yung tinatawag nating independent variable. So when we say independent variable, the variable that is being manipulated in the study, the variable that is different between the groups compared. Okay? So ano ba ang example nito? So bibigyan ko kayo ng example ha. Okay, for example, ang topic natin ay parental supervision, 'di ba? For example, parental supervision 'yan ha, yung mga parenting style, 'di ba? Napag-aralan natin 'yan. Halimbawa level ng parental supervision, no? I-relate mo 'yan sa juvenile delinquency ng bata. So yung independent variable doon is the level of parental supervision, no? Yung supervision, yan po yung independent variable. Ngayon, yung juvenile delinquency, yun po yung tinatawag nating dependent. Okay? Ayan, no? The result or outcome of the study, the variable that the researcher is interested in. Kasi yung pinakatanong mo is yung level of parental supervision, di ba? Kumbaga yun yung pinaka-cause eh. Yung magiging effect nun is yung juvenile delinquency rate. Nakakaapekto ba yung parental supervision sa juvenile delinquency rate? Yun po yung pagka-connection ng independent sa dependent variable. Okay? Meron din tayong intervening variable. Pag sa intervening, the variable that links the dependent, independent, and dependent variable. A hypothetical concept that explains the relationship between the independent and dependent variable and the constant variable, the variable that is not changed or remains the same throughout the conduct of the study. Okay, balikan nyo yung intervening ha, hindi ko pala nabigyan ng example yan. So when we say intervening variable or mediating variable, no? Ito po yung mga middle factors between the two. So 'di ba yung topic natin na ine-example ko is yung parenting supervision at juvenile delinquency rate. So kung intervening, ano yung mga factors na makakapag-apekto doon? Halimbawa, peer influence, self-control, 'di ba? Moral development, attachment sa school. So yan po yung mga intervening variables na bukod sa ah bukod doon po sa dependent and independent, no? Meron po intervening variable. Ano pa ba bukod sa parental supervision, 'di ba? Kasama yung peer influence, self-control, moral development. Hindi lang siya basta parental supervision and constant, 'di ba? Pag sinabing constant, no, the variable that is not changed or remains the same throughout the conduct of the study. For example, yung constant variable is age group, 'di ba? Yung location, socio-economic class. If you study on public high school student age 15 to 7 dito sa Santa Maria, those become constant variable, hindi yun mababago. Constant variable na yung mga yan, ha? Okay. The research process. So the research process will be discussed on your part 2. Salamat po.